Marcus Chen wiped the grease from his hands as he looked at the clock on the wall. It was almost midnight. His small auto repair shop in rural Montana had been quiet all day. He was the only mechanic for 50 miles in any direction. Most nights he closed at 6, but tonight he had stayed late to finish paperwork. He walked toward the front door to lock up when he heard a strange sound outside. It was like nothing he had ever heard before. A high-pitched whine mixed with crackling electricity. Marcus stopped and listened. The sound grew louder. Through the window he saw lights in his parking lot. But these were not normal car headlights. They flickered and flashed in colors he could not name. Blue and purple, and something else that hurt his eyes to look at directly. Marcus opened the door and stepped outside into the cold night air. His breath made clouds in front of his face. What he saw made him freeze in place. A vehicle sat in his parking lot, but it was like no vehicle he had ever seen. It hovered 3 feet off the ground. Smoke poured from panels on its side. The metal was smooth and silver. Strange symbols covered its surface. The lights underneath flickered weakly like a dying flashlight. The side of the craft opened with a hiss. Steam poured out. Marcus took a step back. His heart pounded in his chest. He wanted to run, but his feet would not move. A figure emerged from the craft. It was tall and thin. At first, Marcus thought it was wearing some kind of suit. Then he realized the crystalline surface was its skin. It sparkled in the light from his shop. The being had 4 arms. 2 hung limp at its sides. It stumbled and nearly fell. The creature looked at Marcus with large, dark eyes. It opened its mouth and spoke. The words were broken and hard to understand, but Marcus recognized them as English. "Please help me. My ship is broken. I need repair, or I will die here." Marcus found his voice. "What are you?" "I am Kriva. I come from far away. My ship engine fails. I saw your lights. You fix machines?" "Yes." Marcus nodded slowly. He was a mechanic. He fixed trucks and cars and tractors. But this was different. This was something from another world. His mind raced. Should he call someone? The police? The government? Kriva stumbled again. She reached into a pouch on her side and pulled out small metallic chips. "I pay you. Universal currency. Worth much on your world, please. I am not dangerous. I just need help." Something in her voice made Marcus decide. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe it was dangerous. But someone was asking for help, and he knew how to fix things. That was what he did. "Okay," Marcus said. "Let me look at it." Kriva's face showed relief. She led him to the craft. Up close, it was even more impressive. The metal was warm to the touch. Marcus walked around it slowly. He could see where panels had melted. Scorch marks covered one side. Whatever had damaged the ship had been serious. "What happened to you?" Marcus asked. Kriva's voice was quiet. "I was running. Bad people chased me. They shot at my ship. I barely escaped." "Why are they chasing you?" "Because I ran away. Where I come from, there is no freedom. I am trying to reach a safe place. A sanctuary station. But I must fix my ship first." Marcus looked at the damage. He had no idea how alien technology worked. But engines were engines. Power systems were power systems. The basics had to be the same. "I will try," he said. "I cannot promise anything." "Thank you," Kriva said. "Thank you so much." Marcus went to get his tools. He brought out everything he had. Wrenches and scanners and welding equipment. Kriva opened panels to show him the inside of the ship. The technology was far beyond anything Marcus had seen, but he could recognize patterns. He could see what connected to what hours passed. Marcus worked carefully. He asked Kriva questions, and she answered as best she could. She did not understand all the technical words in English, but she tried. Marcus used his intuition. He followed the energy flows. He replaced damaged circuits with modified parts from his shop. Kriva told him about her world while he worked. She described cities that floated in the sky. She talked about the dominion that ruled her people with cruelty. She explained how she had witnessed terrible things and decided she could not stay silent anymore. You are brave to help me, Kriva said. Most beings would be too afraid. Marcus shrugged. Someone asks for help, and I can maybe give it. That seems simple to me. It is not simple, Kriva said quietly. It is rare. As dawn approached, Marcus made the final connection. The ship hummed to life. The lights glowed steady and bright. The hovering stabilized. Kriva made a sound of joy. You did it. You actually repaired it. How did you do this? Marcus smiled tiredly. I just figured it out as I went. Fixed what looked broken. Replaced what looked damaged. Basic mechanical work, really. Basic. Kriva laughed. This technology is centuries beyond your world. Yet you repaired it in one night. Your people must be remarkable. I just fix things, Marcus said. It is what I do. Kriva pressed the currency chips into his hand. Take these. You have saved my life. If I make it to safety, I will remember this. I will remember that a human helped me when no one else would.
Oh.
She climbed back into her ship. Marcus watched as it lifted higher into the air. The sun was just starting to rise over the mountains. The craft turned and shot upward into the sky. In seconds, it was gone. Marcus stood alone in his parking lot. The morning was quiet and cold. He looked at the chips in his hand. They were real. This had really happened. He had just repaired an alien spacecraft. He had just helped someone from another world. He smiled and walked back into his shop. He would not tell anyone about this. Who would believe him anyway? It would be his secret. His strange, wonderful secret. Marcus had no idea that his simple act of kindness was about to change his life forever. Part 2. The arrival. Marcus woke to a sound like thunder. But this was not normal thunder. It did not fade away. It grew louder and louder until his entire house shook. Pictures fell off the walls. His windows rattled in their frames. He jumped out of bed and ran to the window. What he saw made his blood turn cold. 3 massive black ships hung in the air above his property. They were each the size of a football field. Their hulls were dark and angular. They looked like weapons more than vehicles. Red lights pulsed along their sides. The air around them shimmered with heat. Marcus pulled on his clothes with shaking hands. His mind raced. This had to be about Kriva. These must be the bad people she had mentioned, the ones chasing her. Before he could think of what to do, his front door exploded inward. Armed figures poured into his house. They wore black armor that covered them completely. Their helmets had glowing red visors. Each one carried a weapon that hummed with energy. Do not move, human, one of them shouted. Marcus raised his hands. Okay, I am not moving. More soldiers surrounded his house. He could see them through the windows. At least 20 of them. They moved with military precision. Some pointed their weapons at him, while others scanned his house with devices. A figure walked through his broken doorway. This one was taller than the others. The armor was decorated with symbols of rank. When the helmet retracted, Marcus saw an alien face. The skin was gray and scaled. The eyes were yellow with vertical pupils like a snake. The mouth was filled with sharp teeth. I am Commander Vexther of the Dominion Enforcement Fleet, the alien said. His English was perfect. You will answer my questions truthfully, or you will be arrested. I have not done anything wrong, Marcus said. That remains to be seen. Vexter walked closer. Last night an alien craft landed at your location. A fugitive named Kriva. Where is she now? Marcus swallowed hard. She left. I do not know where she went. Do not lie to me, human. What did she tell you? Where was she going? She did not tell me anything specific. She just said she needed repairs. I fixed her ship and she left. That is all. Vexter's eyes narrowed. You expect me to believe you repaired advanced Dominion technology? You primitive creatures can barely manage your own combustion engines. I am a mechanic. I know how things work. I figured it out. One of the soldiers spoke up. Commander, we have confirmed residual energy signatures. The fugitive was definitely here. The repairs show sophisticated understanding of our propulsion systems. Vexter studied Marcus with cold eyes. Perhaps you are telling the truth about her departure. but you have committed a serious crime. Kriva is wanted across multiple systems. She stole classified Dominion technology. By helping her, you have made yourself an accomplice. I did not know any of that, Marcus said. She just asked for help. She was hurt and scared. What was I supposed to do? You should have refused her. You should have captured her and contacted authorities. Instead, you aided a criminal. There are no authorities here who deal with aliens. We do not have that. And I am not going to attack someone who is asking for help. Vexter laughed. It was a harsh sound. How noble. How very human. You have no idea what you have done. That technology Kriva stole could be used as a weapon. It could endanger billions of lives. And you just let her go. She did not seem like a terrorist to me. She seemed like someone running away from something bad. What she seems like is irrelevant. She is a criminal under Dominion law. Vexter turned to his soldiers. Scan everything. I want every data point about the fugitive's direction and destination. The soldiers spread out through Marcus's house and shop. They used strange devices that made humming sounds. Marcus watched helplessly as they tore through his belongings. They scanned his computer. They examined his tools. They took samples from his parking lot. After 20 minutes, one soldier returned. Commander, we have analyzed the engine's signatures. The fugitive ship was headed toward Sector 7. That is consistent with rumors of a sanctuary station in that region. Vexter nodded. Good. We will pursue. He turned back to Marcus. As for you, human, you will help us find Kriva. I told you I do not know where she went. You have 48 hours to produce useful information. You will search your memory. You will examine anything she may have left behind. God, you will find something that helps us locate her. If you do not, you will be arrested and taken to a Dominion prison world. You cannot do that. This is Earth. You do not have authority here. Vexter smiled, showing all his sharp teeth. Your planet is not part of the Galactic Council. You have no protections under interstellar law. We can do whatever we want, and your primitive governments cannot stop us. We have ships that could level your cities in minutes. Marcus felt fear grip his chest. Are you threatening my whole planet? I am stating facts. The Dominion has the power. You have nothing, so you will cooperate or face the consequences. Vexter walked to the door, then stopped. Find me something useful, or your life as you know it ends. The soldiers followed their commander out. Marcus heard the thunder of engines as the 3 black ships lifted higher into the sky. But they did not leave. They hovered there like dark clouds. He could see small objects circling his property. Surveillance drones, they were watching him. Marcus sat down on his couch. His hands were shaking. What had he gotten himself into? He had just tried to help someone. He had done what any decent person would do. And now he was being threatened by aliens with warships. He looked around his wrecked house, the broken door, the scattered belongings. Everything had changed in one night. Yesterday he had been a simple mechanic, living a quiet life. Today he was caught in something much bigger and more dangerous than he could have imagined. Marcus put his head in his hands. 48 hours to decide what to do? Should he try to help them find Kriva? Should he run? Should he call someone for help? He did not know. All he knew was that his simple act of kindness had brought danger to his doorstep, and somehow he had to find a way to survive what came next. Part 3. The message Marcus spent hours cleaning up the mess the soldiers had made. He worked mechanically, not really thinking. His mind was numb from shock and fear. The surveillance drones buzzed outside his windows like angry wasps. He was a prisoner in his own home. As he picked up his scattered tools, something caught his eye. One of his toolboxes looked different. He opened it and found something that had not been there before. A small metallic disc, about the size of a quarter. It was smooth and warm to the touch. Strange symbols glowed faintly on its surface. Kriva must have left it there, and among his tools where only he would find it. Marcus took the disc to his workshop. His hands trembled slightly as he set it down on his workbench. Whatever this was, it might be the key to everything, or it might get him killed. He examined it carefully. There was a small port on one side. It looked like it needed to connect to something. Marcus thought for a moment, then went to find parts. He built a simple interface using an old tablet and some modified connectors. It took him an hour of careful work. When he finally connected the disk to his makeshift reader, it glowed brighter. The tablet screen flickered, then filled with light. A holographic image appeared above the device. It was Kriva. "Marcus," the recording said, "if you are seeing this, then the Dominion has found you. I am so sorry. I hoped they would not track me to your world, but I was wrong." The hologram of Kriva looked tired and sad. "You deserve to know the truth. The Dominion calls me a thief and a criminal. That is not the whole story. Yes, I stole data from them. But what I stole was evidence. Evidence of terrible crimes." She paused. "The Dominion presents itself as peacekeepers. Say they bring order and protection to the galaxy. That is a lie. They are conquerors. They enslave planets. They take worlds by force and call it protection." Marcus leaned closer to the hologram. His heart was pounding. "I worked in the Dominion Records Division," Kriva continued. "I saw the real reports, the hidden files. Entire species destroyed because they refused to submit. Planets stripped of resources until nothing remained. Billions of beings enslaved. All of it covered up with propaganda and lies." The hologram's expression turned serious. "I could not stay silent. I copied everything I could find. All the proof of what the Dominion really is. Then I ran. Oh, I have been running for months, trying to reach the Galactic Council. They are the only power that can stand against the Dominion. If I can show them this evidence, they will have to act. But the Dominion will do anything to stop me," Kriva said. "They sent Vexter because he is ruthless. He will threaten you. He will lie to you. He may even threaten your entire world. None of it matters to him. Serves the Dominion absolutely." Marcus felt cold. Everything Vexter had said took on new meaning. "I am sorry I brought this danger to you," Kriva's hologram said. "You showed me kindness when I needed it most. You did not have to help me, but you did. That kind of compassion is rare in the galaxy. It is something special about humans." She looked directly at the camera. "I have left you coordinates. In 36 hours, I will be at a hidden relay station in your system's outer belt. I must stop there to recharge before my final jump to Council space. If you want to find me, you can. If you give my location to Vexter, he may let you go. That would be the smart choice. It's a safe choice." Kriva smiled sadly. "But I do not think you will do that. I saw something in you, Marcus, a goodness that is not common. Whatever you decide, I want you to know that you helped me more than you can imagine. You gave me hope that there are still good beings in this universe. Thank you." The hologram faded. The disk went dark. Marcus sat in silence for a long moment. He had a choice to make. He could give Vexter the coordinates, tell him where Kriva would be, save himself, go back to his normal life. That would be sensible. That would be safe. But something about it felt wrong. Marcus got up and walked to his computer. The soldiers had searched it, but they had not destroyed it. He started researching. Typed in searches about aliens and conspiracies and unexplained events. What he found was interesting. There were reports going back decades. UFO sightings that matched Dominion ship designs. People who claimed they had been abducted and warned. Stories from different countries all telling similar tales. Powerful aliens who demanded submission. Ships that appeared over cities as shows of force. Most people dismissed these stories as crazy. But Marcus knew better now. He had met Kriva. He had seen Vexter. These things were real. He found one report from a former military officer. The man claimed he had been contacted by aliens who warned that Earth was being watched by hostile forces, that humanity needed to be careful, that there were those in the galaxy who saw Earth as a primitive world ripe for conquest. The officer had been laughed at, called insane, forced into retirement. Marcus wondered how many other people had encountered the truth and been silenced. He thought about Kriva's words, about the Dominion and their lies, about entire civilizations destroyed. He thought about Vexter's casual threats against Earth, the way he had said they could level cities if they wanted. These were not good guys. They were bullies with big ships and big weapons. They were threatening him because he had helped someone escape from them. Marcus looked at the coordinates Kriva had left. He could still give them to Vexter. He could still save himself. But what kind of person would that make him? He had been raised to do the right thing, to help people who needed it, to stand up against bullies. His father had taught him that. His father had been a mechanic too. He had always said that fixing things was about more than machines. It was about making the world work better, making it right when it was broken. The Dominion was broken. They were a system that ran on cruelty and lies. And Kriva was trying to fix it. She was trying to expose the truth. Marcus made his decision. He would not betray her. He would help her if he could. Somehow it was probably stupid. It was definitely dangerous. Vexler would be furious. There would be consequences. But it was the right thing to do. Marcus began to plan. He had 36 hours before Kriva reached the relay station. He had to figure out how to help her without getting them both killed. He had two outsmart aliens who had technology centuries beyond Earth's. He was just a mechanic from Montana. He fixed trucks and tractors. He had no weapons, no ships, no training for this kind of thing. But he had his mind. He had his tools. And he had something else. Something Vexler had not counted on. He had human stubbornness. The refusal to give up even when things seemed impossible. The determination to do what was right even when it was hard. Marcus smiled grimly. Vexler wanted information? He would give him information, just not the kind Vexler expected. He started gathering materials from his shop. He had work to do. Part 4. The Gambit Marcus worked through the night building his device. He used parts from his shop, old car batteries, copper wire, modified, alternators, circuit boards from broken electronics. To anyone else it would look like junk thrown together, but Marcus knew what he was building. An electromagnetic pulse generator, an EMP device. He had learned about them years ago from a military friend. EMPs could disable electronics, fry circuits, shut down computers and communications. If he built it right and got close enough, it might work on alien technology too. It was a long shot, but it was all he had. When morning came, Marcus contacted Vexler. One of the surveillance drones responded immediately. The commander's face appeared on Marcus's phone screen. "You have information for me, human?" "Yes," Marcus said. "I found something Kriva left behind. A data chip. It has coordinates." Vexler's eyes gleamed. "Where?" "A relay station. In the asteroid belt past Mars. She will be there in about 30 hours. She has to recharge her ship before jumping to another system." "How do I know?" "You are telling the truth." Marcus held up the disk. "This is what she left. You can scan it if you want. I cannot read alien technology well enough to fake this." Vexler was quiet for a moment. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I want my life back. I want you to leave me alone. You said if I helped you find her, you would let me go. So I am helping. You could have told me this immediately." "Why wait?" "Because I was scared," Marcus said. "It was not entirely a lie. I did not know what to do. But I do not want to go to an alien prison. So here's the information. Take it." Vexler smiled his sharp-toothed smile. "Very sensible of you, human. Perhaps your species is not completely stupid. I will verify these coordinates. If they are accurate, you will come with us to identify the fugitive." "What?" "No, I gave you the information. That was the deal. The deal is whatever I say it is. You will come to ensure you have not lied. If Kriva is at those coordinates, you will be released. If she is not, you will be arrested immediately. Those are the terms." Marcus pretended to be afraid. It was not hard. He was afraid. Okay, I will come. Good, we leave in 1 hour. Be ready." The screen went dark. Marcus took a deep breath. This was it. His plan was in motion. He packed his EMP device carefully in a tool bag. It looked like normal mechanic equipment. He hoped the aliens would not scan it too carefully. An hour later, a smaller ship descended to his property. It was still large compared to anything on Earth, but small enough to land. Marcus climbed aboard with his tool bag. Alien soldiers watched him but did not search his belongings. To them, he was just a primitive human. Not a threat, the ship launched. Marcus watched through a window as Earth shrank below them. He had never been to space before. Under other circumstances, it would have been amazing. Now he just felt sick with nervousness. The journey took hours. They traveled past the moon, past Mars, into the asteroid belt where millions of rocks drifted in the darkness. Finally, they approached a small station attached to a large asteroid. It looked abandoned, but Marcus could see faint lights inside. "That is it," Vexthor said. "That is where your information leads. If you have lied to me, human, your death will be slow." "I am not lying," Marcus said. The 3 black ships took up positions around the station. Soldiers prepared to board it. Vexthor stood near the command console. Marcus stood close by holding his tool bag. Vexthor opened a communication channel. "Kriva, this is Commander Vexthor. You are surrounded. Surrender the stolen data, and you will be treated fairly. Resist, and you will be destroyed." For a moment there was silence. Then a voice came through the speakers. It was Kriva, fairly, like you treated the people of Zendara. Like you treated the colonies you enslaved. "You know nothing of those situations," Vexthor said. "You saw only what you wanted to see. The Dominion brings order. Sometimes order requires force. Order through genocide. Through slavery. I have the proof, Vexthor. Everyone will see what the Dominion really is. No one will see anything because you will not escape." Marcus watched as soldiers prepared to board the station. This was the moment. He had to act now before they reached Kriva. He moved closer to the communications array. The main control panel was just a few feet away. His hand slipped into his tool bag and found the EMP device. His fingers found the trigger. "Kill her," Vexthor ordered coldly. "Kill them both. The human betrayed his own kind by helping her. He deserves to die too." Marcus pressed the trigger. The EMP device activated with a high-pitched whine. Electromagnetic energy burst outward in a sphere. Every electronic device within range flickered and died. The lights went out. The weapons in the soldiers' hands went dead. Their armor systems shut down. The ship's controls sparked and went dark. Vexthor's communications cut off mid-curse. In the confusion, Marcus ran. He had studied the ship layout during the journey. He knew where the airlocks were. Emergency lighting kicked in, but it was dim. Soldiers shouted and stumbled in the darkness. Marcus reached the airlock. The manual override still worked. He pulled the lever, and the door opened. Outside, he could see the relay station. A thin bridge connected the ship to the station. It was meant for boarding parties. He ran across it. Behind him, he heard Vexthor screaming orders. The commander was trying to get systems back online. But the EMP had fried everything. It would take time to repair. Marcus reached the station and dove inside. The door sealed behind him. He found himself in a small chamber. Kriva stood there waiting. Her eyes were wide with surprise. "Marcus, what are you doing here?" "Saving you, if we are lucky. Getting us both killed if we are not." "Do you have defenses in this station?" "Yes. Old automated systems. I activated them when I arrived, just in case. Turn them on now." Kriva moved to a control panel. Her 4 hands worked quickly. Energy barriers appeared around the station. They glowed blue and hummed with power. Outside, Marcus could see the Dominion ships trying to get closer, but the barriers pushed them back. "We have maybe 10 minutes before they break through," Kriva said. "How did you get here?" "Long story." "Do you have a ship?" "A small shuttle. For emergencies. It is fast, but it has no weapons." "We do not need weapons. We need speed." "Where is the nearest Galactic Council station?" 4 hours from here at maximum speed. But the Dominion ships are faster. They will catch us, not if we get a head start. "Come on," they ran through the station corridors. Kriva led him to a small hangar. A shuttle sat there. It was sleek and silver. Much smaller than the Dominion warships, but it looked fast. "Get in," Kriva said. They climbed aboard. Kriva took the controls. Marcus strapped himself into a seat. Through the window, he could see the Dominion ships recovering. Lights were coming back on. The barriers around the station were flickering. "They're breaking through," Marcus said.
"I know."
"Hold on," the shuttle launched. It shot out of the hangar like a bullet. The force pressed Marcus back into his seat. He had never felt acceleration like this. Behind them, the three black Dominion ships turned to pursue. Energy weapons fired. Bright beams of light sliced through space. They missed the shuttle by inches. "They are coming after us," Marcus said. "Of course they are," Kriva replied. Her hands moved over the controls with incredible speed. "But we have a head start. And I am a very good pilot." The shuttle weaved between asteroids. It dove and climbed. The Dominion ships followed, firing constantly. But Kriva was faster. She knew every trick. "For hours to the Council Station," she said. "Can you do something to help? Any human tricks?" Marcus looked at the shuttle systems. He did not understand most of it, but he understood the basics. Engines, power flow, energy distribution. He started working. Could maybe boost your power output. Redirect energy from non-essential systems. Do it. Marcus worked quickly. His hands moved over controls. He followed the energy patterns. He shut down life support in empty compartments. He disabled comfort systems. He pushed everything into the engines. The shuttle surged forward faster than before. "That is amazing," Kriva said. "How did you do that?" "Basic engineering. Find what you do not need. Use it for what you do need. Basic." "Marcus, you just improved military-grade technology without training." Behind them, the Dominion ships fell slightly further back. They were still in pursuit, but the gap was growing. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Maybe they would make it after all. Part 5. The exposure. The chase continued for hours. Marcus and Kriva flew through space while 3 Dominion warships pursued them. Energy weapons fired constantly. Each near miss lit up the darkness around them. Marcus worked the entire time. He studied the shuttle systems. He found ways to make them more efficient. He rerouted power. He adjusted energy flows. Every small improvement gave them a little more speed. A little more distance from their pursuers. "You are incredible," Kriva said as she piloted. "Most engineers would need weeks to understand these systems. You are doing it in minutes." "It is just problem solving," Marcus said. His hands moved quickly over the controls. "This connects to that. This powers that. It all makes sense if you look at it the right way. That is not just problem solving. That is genius. Real genius." Marcus did not respond. He was too focused on keeping them alive. He found another system to optimize. The engines surged with more power. Behind them, Vexler's voice came through the communications. "You cannot escape human. Even if you reach the Council Station, we will follow. We will destroy you both. No one defies the Dominion." Marcus ignored him. He kept working. He noticed something about the shuttle's shields. They were using too much power in the wrong places. He adjusted them, made them more focused. Stronger where they needed to be, an energy blast hit them. The shuttle shook, but the shields held. Barely. "That was close," Kriva said. "They are getting more accurate." "How much longer to the Council Station?" 20 minutes? But they are going to catch us before we get there." Marcus thought fast. He looked at every system, every option. Then he saw it. A way to give them one final burst of speed. But it was dangerous. "I can overload the engines," he said. "Give us maximum power for about 5 minutes. But after that, we will have almost nothing left. We would be helpless. 5 minutes get us to the station, if we are lucky." Kriva did not hesitate. "Do it." Marcus started the overload sequence. He pushed the engines past their safety limits. Warnings flashed on every screen. The shuttle began to shake. The engine sound changed to a high-pitched scream. Then they shot forward like they had been fired from a cannon. The acceleration pressed Marcus back so hard he could barely breathe. His vision started to go dark at the edges. Through the window, he saw stars streaking past. They were moving faster than he had thought possible. The Dominion ships fell behind. They tried to match the speed, but could not. The gap grew wider and wider. There Kriva shouted, "The Council Station." Marcus saw it ahead, a massive structure floating in space. It was larger than any of the Dominion ships. sleek and white, covered in symbols he did not recognize. Ships of many different designs orbited around it. This was neutral ground, protected space. We are going too fast, Marcus realized. We cannot slow down. I know. Hold on. Duh. Kriva fired every maneuvering thruster at once. She reversed the engines, even though they were already overloaded. The shuttle shook so violently Marcus thought it would tear apart. Warnings blared. Systems began to fail, but their speed dropped. It's not enough, but it dropped. They shot past the outer defense perimeter of the Council station. Instantly, ships moved to intercept them. These were Council peacekeepers. Their ships formed a barrier between the shuttle and the pursuing Dominion warships. "Attention, unknown shuttle," a calm voice said over communications. "You are entering protected Council space. State your identity and purpose," says Kriva of the former Dominion worlds. "I seek emergency asylum. I have critical evidence of war crimes. The ships pursuing me are trying to silence me before I can present this evidence." There was a pause. "Asylum request acknowledged. Proceed to Docking Bay 7. You're under Council protection." Behind them, Vexther's ships slowed and stopped. You could not enter Council space without permission. Doing so would mean war. Even the Dominion was not ready for that. "You will regret this, human." Vexther's voice came through one last time. "The Dominion has a long memory. We do not forget insults. We do not forget betrayals." Marcus found his voice. "Good, remember this. Remember that a human helped bring you down. Remember that your lies and cruelty were exposed by a mechanic from a primitive world. Remember that you lost." He cut the communication. The shuttle limped into the docking bay. The engines finally died completely. Emergency systems barely kept them functioning. But they were alive. They had made it. Guards met them at the airlock. These were not soldiers like the Dominion. They wore light armor and carried minimal weapons. They were professional, but not threatening. "Please come with us," one said. "The Council Tribunal is ready to hear your case." Marcus and Kriva were led through gleaming corridors. The station was beautiful. Clean lines, soft lighting, artwork from 100 different worlds. It felt peaceful after the chaos of the chase. They entered a large chamber. It was circular with seats rising in tiers all around. Dozens of aliens sat there. Each one looked different. Different species from different worlds. This was the Galactic Council, the closest thing the galaxy had to a unified government. At the center sat 3 figures who seemed to be the judges. One was tall and thin with blue skin. One was short and covered in fur. The third was crystalline like Kriva, but a different color. "Kriva," the blue one said, "you stand accused by the Dominion of theft and treason." "What do you say?" Kriva stepped forward. "I say the Dominion lies. I did take their data, but it was not theft. It was evidence gathering. Evidence of crimes so terrible they must be answered for." She produced a small device. "I have here documented proof. Records of atrocities, genocide, slavery, entire civilizations destroyed. All committed by the Dominion while they claimed to bring peace." Murmurs spread through the council.
Ow.
The judges leaned forward. "These are serious accusations," the furry one said. "If you cannot prove them, you will be turned over to Dominion custody." "I can prove everything. Let me present my evidence." For the next hour, Kriva showed the council what she had found. Records appeared on screens around the chamber. Communications between Dominion commanders ordering attacks on civilian populations, financial records showing the slave trade, videos of weapons being used on defenseless worlds. The council chamber was silent. Every member watched with growing horror. Even the judges looked disturbed. Finally, Kriva finished. "This is what the Dominion really is. Not peacekeepers, not protectors. Conquerors and slavers hiding behind lies. I risked everything to bring you this truth. Now you must act." The crystalline judge spoke. "These records appear authentic. If they are real, the Dominion has violated every principle of galactic law. We must investigate immediately." "Agreed," the blue judge said. "The Dominion representatives will be summoned to answer these charges." "Kriva, you are granted asylum under council protection. You have done a great service. Then all three judges looked at Marcus. "And who are you, human?" "The Dominion claims you aided a fugitive." Marcus stepped forward. His legs felt weak, but he stood straight. "My name is Marcus Chen. I am from Earth. I helped Kriva because she needed help. I did not know about any of this political stuff. I just knew someone was running from something bad, so I helped. That is what humans do." "Dominion threatens your entire world for this action," the furry judge said. "Commander Vexler has indicated they may take punitive action against Earth." "Then stop them," Marcus said simply. "Protect my world like you are protecting Kriva. You did nothing wrong except refuse to help bullies." The three judges looked at each other. They seemed to have a silent conversation. Finally, the blue judge nodded. "The Council agrees. As of this moment, Earth is under Council protection. Any attack on your world will be considered an attack on all Council members. Furthermore, we are initiating first contact protocols. Your planet will be offered membership in the galactic community." Marcus felt dizzy. "What? Just like that? Just like that?" the judge said with what might have been a smile. "Your actions have proven your species is ready. You showed courage, compassion, and integrity. These are the qualities we value. Welcome to the greater galaxy, Marcus Chen of Earth." Peacekeepers escorted their ships away from Council space. They were ordered to return to Dominion territory and not approach Earth under any circumstances. The investigation into Dominion crimes began immediately. Marcus spent weeks at the Council station. He answered questions. He told his story over and over. Representatives from Earth arrived, government officials who could barely believe what was happening, scientists who wanted to understand the technology, military leaders who wanted to know about potential threats. Kriva stayed with him through it all. She testified about Dominion crimes. She helped explain galactic politics to the confused humans. She became Earth's first friend among the stars. "You changed everything," she told Marcus one day. They stood by a window looking out at stars. One act of kindness. That is all it took. You helped a stranger, and it changed the fate of your entire world. "I just fixed a ship," Marcus said. "I did what anyone should do, but most would not have. That is what makes it special. That is what makes humans special. You see someone who needs help, and you help them. You do not ask if it is safe or profitable. You just do what is right." Marcus smiled. "Maybe. I guess we will see how humanity does now that we know about all this. It's about you and the Dominion and the Council and everything else out there. I think you will do well. If Earth has more people like you, the galaxy will be better for it." 6 months later, Marcus returned to Earth. He landed in a ship provided by the Council. The whole world knew his name now. He was famous. The human who had helped start first contact, the mechanic who had stood up to an evil empire. But Marcus did not want fame. He wanted his shop back, his quiet life, his simple work. The governments of Earth had other plans, though. They wanted him as an ambassador, a liaison to the galactic community, someone who understood both human and alien perspectives. Marcus agreed, but only part-time. The rest of the time he worked in his shop, fixing engines, helping people, living his life. Kriva visited often. She became Earth's official council representative. She taught humans about the galaxy. She helped navigate the complex politics of first contact. She became a trusted friend to many, and sometimes late at night Marcus would look up at the stars and smile. He had fixed a ship, such a simple thing, but it had changed everything. It had proven that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness could have the biggest impact. The galaxy was vast and complex and often dangerous, but it was also full of good people trying to do the right thing. And now humanity was part of that story, part of something greater than themselves, all because a mechanic had decided to help a stranger. The end.